about it. Alright. Next review. Whoops. I think that's Junkertown?
Welcome to Junk Ready for Battle.
Yes, okay.
Executing big combat routine. Optimizing strategy. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Let's get to it already!
Hey there. Statistically speaking, I usually get most of my team back alive. Who's counting?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Moving the payload to the destination spot. The payload. Stop right there. Please move behind the barrier. Not so fast.
Nothing to talk about too far. Or so far. Full targets have been fine so far. Just kind of chilling on cart. Don't die to the tree. Alright, if you're getting shot, you can just drop behind the cart. You have Fortify, right? You can't get a headshot. I don't know. Not really a whole lot to talk about there. I think even you know, like, what the issues there. Or just, like, we're not paying attention. But, you know, Orisa has a tendency to put people to sleep. I understand. But, yeah. Can't die there.
System restart initialized. Stop right there.
That shield is probably too far forward. You only want to throw that shield that far if you intend to actually hold that on the shield, right? So, throwing shields forward is important for taking space, but in this case, they're going to come to you because you have card control, right? Your team has card control. So if they're going to come to you. You don't need to throw the shield at the choke because you're only going to do that if you're going to actually hold the choke. So if you have a Reinhardt sitting at this door, then throwing a shield at the door becomes a lot better, right? Or if you intend to shove your own like golden body into the door, you know, that's fine. A body block, right? But if you're not going to do that, you need that shield for yourself, right? So that shield needs to be closer to the cart and closer to you. Where are you? There you are. Like that's also, you gotta press Fortify at some point, you know? I understand not wanting to waste cooldowns, but like, you gotta use it.
I still have a job to do. For your own safety, get behind the barrier. For your safety, please move behind the barrier.
You're also reaching the point where you probably want to stop like putting your shield on cart, right? So putting the shield on cart is useful for making it move, right? But after a certain point, like getting the cart to move isn't like it's a matter of standing on it anymore, right? Like for example, you're gonna get to this point, you're gonna be in a big kill box, right? They're gonna be all around you, and having the shield on cart's not enough. You're just gonna die, right? So at that point, it becomes less about putting the shield on cart and making it move with you, and more about putting it on a strong position that doesn't get it immediately killed that you can use, right? So your next shield, instead of like being on cart, should probably be at this corner while your team like pushes high ground, right? Or you just abandon the cart entirely, right? Once you get to that point, and then help your team push the high ground by yourself if your hog's not doing it, right? Or just in general, like if they're holding more people here, you need Orisa with you. But like, please do not bot out and just sit on cart. Let's see what you do. Nice. You're leaving. You put a static shield. This is probably not the shield you want because again, your whole team is not doing anything. So instead of like, I understand this is better than being on card at least. It's good that you recognize that. But you need to take your whole team now and just like literally walk up these stairs, and you need to be there with them. Because your hog is clearly not making things happen, so you need to make things happen. That was a good full attempt. Or conceptually. Execution-wise, maybe not the best, but. Right, again, so when you're taking space, you need to throw shields, right? If they walk through your shield, then you fortify, right? But like, okay, first of all, you need more teammates in this. This is by yourself, right? You need like at least like your BAP, and maybe in either your McCree or your Hog. You need like one of the two here with you, and that way you can throw your shield out of the room. So like up to like here, and then you can shove your body in, and if anyone tries to fight you, you fortify, right? Inside your shield. And if they don't, then you use a shield and you push out and you consider fortifying at that point. If like you really want to walk out of your shield. But like you need to take space, right? This is too defensive a shield. Like what's gonna happen is you guys are gonna sit here until the end of time and nothing's gonna happen. Alright, you bongoed, but the problem is, right? You're not in position to defend the bongo because like the bongo is right behind you. Like your shield is here and you're gonna put a bongo right behind the shield, and your shield is already breaking, and Orisa shield has a long cooldown, right? Shoot. So hard to see, but like it's still got 5 seconds left. It's like up there with like monkey bubble in terms of like cooldown. So it takes a long time. So the thing is, if you're going to bongo, right, you need to wait for your fresh shield. And so that means like letting the shield die and just walking back and hiding here. And then if they try to push you in here, then you would bongo fresh shield. If they don't push you, you walk out, you maybe bongo on the corner, right? And then throw a fresh shield out to here and walk up and catch up to it, right? But you can't just like drop a bongo on a half shield and expect it to live, right? That was bad halt because you need that for this. Right. Don't panic with your buttons. Make sure they're actually doing something. Again, you panic with the shield as well, and look what you're doing now. You're pushing without shield or fortify or halt, right? And you're just gonna die. You need to have cooldowns for this, right? So I get why you shielded here, but that means you need to be patient until your next shield, right, is coming up. Now, you actually just got headshot and died, yeah. And shields can't get headshot. I know, rarely known fact. No one is aware of that. So it's good to clear this high ground, but you start moving, right? You start dropping as soon as you cleared the like, okay, no one here. Like, no one on my left, no one up here. I shielded so I don't die. And now start thinking about dropping as soon as you press, like, you have your shield up, you pressure them out, right? They're out of your LOS. You start moving and dropping and start thinking about pushing the right side again, right? But you can't stay up here. I'm sure you know that, but like, the way you cross is also really important. Like when you cross. That's a big pull. Nice. Okay, you ulted. Alright, you're taking high ground, it's fine. That was probably not the pull. He's winning. Okay, you reverse positions. Good shield soon. Yeah, okay. Nice. Nice, well done. Your pull usage when you're in close, like, when you get into a fight with people, you just kind of pull to pull, right? Like, you just kind of panic pull and use it whenever you're, like, fighting. But you gotta have a purpose with your pulls, right? You either trying to run away from you, and you're trying to pull them back towards you, or away from, like, their escape route. Or you're trying to pull them away from you to keep them off of you, right? But don't just pull to pull. It's not worth it. It doesn't do anything, right? Like, your pulls when you're just trying to catch people are really good. Right, when you're trying to pull them off high ground, like the pull in the Sig was really good. It forced a kind of questionable Sig ult. But when you're in a fight, you just panic pull all the time, right? The ability's too good to use like that. Forward shield, that's fine. Nice, you cut off the Sig, you died. Alright, start thinking about high ground. It's already really important, especially since your hog has proven that he doesn't care about it, right? Or he doesn't think about it much, right? So that's the case, you need to already be walking this way because he's not going to do it for you. That pull's okay. Nice attempt. Force him to an awkward spot, he dies for it. Now, again, you got to go high ground now, right? You can't afford to. And also the shield's pretty bad, he's already dead. Please don't bot out, you're botting out, no. This is when you want the moving shield, right? You want the moving shield because like you're not going to be walking into a giant kill box with it, right? So you don't need you don't really care if your shield moves a bit, right? You actually want the moving shield. There. Okay, so now you recognize that you put a moving shield. This should be bongo probably soon. That was probably not the spot for the bongo. Also, again, you gotta fortify. And also, again, why did you die? High ground. High ground. Walk this way earlier. Get up here. You drop a shield. This Hanzo literally cannot fight you. You force him off, then you drop Bongo and you win the fight, right? Instead, he's going to kill your Bongo in 2 seconds, and he killed you on top of that, right? Okay, he got pressured, so he didn't kill the Bongo, but now he killed it. Or Zen killed it, I guess, but... Yeah, your Tracer's controlling the high ground, but that really should be you, right? Yeah, this fight's done. You guys are retreating. Yeah, you probably stuck around there a little bit too long. It's whatever. And you're right. Okay. Let's see if you go back to reset point. 6:31. And Ryan. Monkey. Orisa. That's Sig. And Sig the whole way. Alright. Let's see. What did you say in your... Let's see. How do I Orisa? Okay, so... I'm just gonna do only Orisa parts, I guess, because that is what requested. So I'll just go to the Orisa.
Initiating match. Ready.
I assume you switched after like one fight, but yeah, we'll see.
Ready for 5, 4, 3, 2, moving behind my barrier. Attackers incoming. Stop the pain.
Speed shield's okay, but it's going to die really fast, and you need to be ready for that. Yeah. Don't reshield again. Do not reshield it again. Okay. The problem with this reshield, right, is that it dies really fast, because they're now really close to you. And then on top of that, right, it doesn't exert any real pressure, right? You sort of want to create angles, right? So like when these guys are walking forward, if all they have to worry about is this, they're not scared, right? So what you want to do is like spread it out a bit, right? So you walk out this way, maybe reshield on this direction, and that way they have to decide between looking at your hog potentially over here or a sniper behind here, right? What's that? That's Genji. And then you with your shield and potentially another sniper over here. Like you give them so much stuff to look at, it's hard for them to process, right? And hide from everything. But if you just only repeatedly reshield this over and over again, they just shoot you, and then eventually they'll capitalize, right? And you're about to get hooked here, it looks like. Yeah, he's dead. He's not dead, but you know. Yeah, you're dead, okay. But you're gonna have a lot of resources forced, even if you do live there, and your team's probably losing that fight, regardless. Just because you're not exerting any like real pressure. Shield's okay. Alright, dead. You gotta find a way somewhere to go, right? Either towards this direction or this direction. But you gotta find one side of the concave to push and then sit on it, right? But you can't just sit in the middle, right? If you sit in the middle, you're eventually just gonna get worn down. Your team has no angles, right? Dead. You're probably losing this fight either way, but you don't give yourself a chance unless you actually do something, right? But just because you're Orisa doesn't mean you don't get to be active. Although Orisa's a pretty good excuse. I assume you switch here. So what happens? Yeah. Okay. Overall for your Orisa, when you're pushing, your forward shields are generally not forward enough, and then sometimes you forward shield when you really shouldn't be forward shielding. So just be aware of like where the fight's going to happen, right? How you want to like have a picture of how you want to play the fight and position your shield accordingly. And also remember the shield has a really long cooldown, right? So you sort of only want to shield when something's going to happen with it, which is another big problem with all these with these shields up here, right? Is you had a fresh shield, right? It died. You put another shield down, and then it died. And you waited like another 5 seconds and then put another shield down, right? And in that time, nothing was going on with your team, right? No one was doing anything. You weren't halt comboing with it, right? So oftentimes what you do is like you sit here, you wait for your shield, right? You walk out, you shield, you pull, and you try to get a kill off it, right? And that's your goal on like almost every shield is to do something with it, right? And so like the problem with your shields is that your shields you were just kind of shielding to shield, and then you were kind of vaguely shooting at them, right? So like your shield is like it needs a purpose, just like your halts when you're in fights. Because like your halts when you're between fights, like or during poke phase, are really good. But your halts like during fights, you just kind of pull, right? And likewise when you're poke phase, like when you're pushing, your shields are pretty good, right? Or when you're in the middle of a fight, your shields are okay, right? But then during poke phase, your shields become abysmal while your halts are still pretty good, right? Your shields are just kind of like shield, all right, shield, all right, shield, and you walk out here, you're like, I'm throwing the shield out here, right? And you just sat on it, right? You didn't do anything. And you do this a lot with Orisa. So your shields need to be more considered during poke phase, and your halts need to be more considered during fights. And then also like remember to use fortify, right? It's an important ability to have, but it's not so important that you can't use it if you're worried about dying, right? And then also, again, the reason why I was talking about using a fresh shield for your bongo in this corridor, right, is the same idea, right? You want to sync all your cooldowns, right? Use everything together, right? So you just chill here, wait until your shield, then you walk out bongo, throw your shield forward, use it, and then aggressively push with a fortify and shield, right? And halt. But you sort of want to use everything at once, right? Not necessarily your fortify and shield at once, but like because the nature of halt and shield, both being relatively long cooldowns that have like very high impact when used, you're sort of looking to like put them together, right? You like walk out, you shield, you pull. If you need to fortify to get away after that, you fortify, right? Or to fortify to continue the fight, right? But yeah, I think those are the big things. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. And yeah, that's basically Orisa. All right, I am done with VOD reviews. Pog, I did it.